Hello, my name is Andy with Andy Gone Crafty. In today's video, I'm going to show you what the installation looks like after it's been successfully installed on my XRF series for OneLaser. It works great, and I use it with the EMP laser ready air compressor. All I had to do is hook this part up, but it came with all the parts. Which for a girl, it was quite nice. It was like $250 or whatever on sale. And then that's the OneLaser new air assist controller. Low. High. I'm gonna start by saying I am new to making videos, but I could not find a single video on how to install this, so we had to kind of blindly go. But we got it working, and I'm just gonna kind of show you what we did to make it work. So this is the instruction booklet that they give you, and this is the X series. I have the XRF. Basically, starting from this picture here, it talks about hooking up the air tube, which is originally hooked up from the little mini control panel. This is the inlet in the back and how to hook it up. So over here, I had already done this before I got the control system. Because I had already been using the compressor, but just manually doing it. If you look at right here, there we go. So here's the big picture. Motherboard's over here. This is the right hand side of the laser. So toward the back top of this plate, there's the black, oops, let me back up just a little bit so you can see. Okay, so see this black hose right here? That is the one going into your nozzle. And then this white one right here, which is not plugged in right now, is to the mini pump. And this blue one is to the air outlet here. Okay, so I had to swap, excuse me, I had to unplug this from the mini pump to the black wire, and then I had to plug in the blue into the black. This allows whatever air you pump into the back of the machine to actually go to the laser head. So because that black wire goes to the laser head. So you want the black wire hooked to the blue wire and unhook the clear wire. It's kind of like a white, opaque, clear. Okay, so that is what this one is. Then it goes into this one, which shows you a little bit more, a better view of the white. So when I did it originally, I didn't pop off this back panel. I didn't pop it off until I had to do the air assist controller. So I had to do that finagling here, which wasn't easy, but it only took me about 5 minutes to do it. The actual air assist controller that I installed is this thing down here, this crazy wire looking spider thing. Totally technical terms, guys. Okay. So this next one is basically the same thing. It's showing a better view of that blue wire, which hooks into the back of the machine, and goes into the black wire, which hooks to the laser head. So it's just push to connect. If you've ever done a push connect, I'm going to show you on the regulator. It'll have a plastic ring, and you push in, and then you pull out. Okay? Sorry, it's still hooked to the compressor. Okay, so it's really easy to do. Going to the next page. This is just showing the direction of airflow, which is a pretty basic thing, you know. Compressor to the regulator, which is what I just let out, into the in, so which is on the actual module. That's what it looks like in the back. Sorry, don't get motion sick. Okay, and then from the out into the back of the machine, which I did, but I didn't do that until later. Okay, so this thing right here is teaching you how to remove this little thing if you want it. I, however, just left it on. See, it's literally still on it. This mounting bracket has magnets, so I just magneted it to the top of this. It says RSP. I don't know what it is, but I just magneted to that, and it's not moving. Okay, so that's what these little magnets are on the bottom, and it's got, this is what the spidery looking thing looks like, where you can see it. But I didn't do that, and I literally just magneted this right to that board. This is showing you some of the wires you're going to end up needing, but yeah. It has these things have codes on them. So that's what I'm going to be referring to when I refer to it. So this next picture is talking about the ground. Okay, so there's on this little spider looking thing, there's this yellow and green wire that comes out of it. So my uncle ended up plugging it. Sorry, the lighting over here is not the best. So all of these say ground on the bottom here. So he popped it into this one right here. So he just kind of shoved it in there, and it works. Okay, so which is kind of what they did there. They just shoved it into one of those. Mine has more cords than that. Okay, and so for this next step, it kind of shows you in two pictures. So the control board, sorry, is right here. Okay, so these all say in, and that one is the out back there. So there was a empty spot. So if you look right here, it says N1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get the point. It corresponds to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the back side. So it says to plug it into the out 4. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4. That one had nothing plugged into it. So this one right here, this wire, oops, sorry to do it. This one right here, they both are black and red. And this one, you can tell, it says low. This one, it's plugged into an empty port. At least for mine. I got mine only a month ago. And I did a back order one, so I got it straight from the factory. Okay, and then this one will be your high, which I had to unplug. So the 5, so this is 4 and that's 5, but parallel, so that backside. So that next one, there was one that was empty, and that one was 4, and then the one that was 5, I had to unplug, so the one following the end of this cord, which is not easy to get in there, but hopefully you get some of the idea. This one right here goes into 5, which corresponds to this, but on the other side. I had to unplug the pump and plug in the high into that. Okay, so that's a better view of it. You can actually see that from in here, as you can tell. I kind of had to just kind of feel around because you can't take the motherboard out as far as I can tell. Okay, so this is how to do the high. So your low and your high should be in 4 and 5. So 5 had something in it. I had to unplug that, and then I had to plug a high into that. Okay. Okay, moving on to this one. So there's one that says a 12 volt 12 and OV12, and one that says pump. I had to unplug that from the back, or else this mini pump, pardon me blocking the light. Let me move the light a little bit so you can see it. Maybe. Sorry about this. This is kind of awkward filming it yourself. Okay, so this is the back. So that's where I was just showing you stuff from the side. That is your XRF, the radio frequency tube, the 30 watts, 38 watt. I didn't touch any of that. And then that is some of your control board stuff, which I also did not touch. But this right here, says mini pump on it. You can't see it from the video. Okay, so this right here is what you need to unplug, or else you're gonna hear things. So I had to unplug the one here. It's on this side here. So that is unplugged. Okay, and I had to unplug both of them, or else it kept going. And you have to unplug the one that says 12 volt. Of course, it's not cooperating. The little slider thing's moved. Okay, so this says OV12 and 24 volts 12. I just had to unplug that too, and that disconnected the mini pump. Because let me tell you, that sucker is loud. Okay, now going back over to here. So this is one really long cord that came inside the box, which is this black part right here is hooked to this. We ended up sticking where the ground wire is to the left, and that's how mine is situated, just so wires go the correct direction, because that's where the high and low is coming out of too. But however you need to do it, you can do it. Okay, so this one right here hooks to this here. That being said, move away. I didn't want to drill holes or nothing in my laser. When I put the back cover on, I'll show you guys. But this panel has a little skinny part right here that if you don't stick in this last screw, this just kind of pops out a little bit, and it puts no pressure on the cord, and it just the cord just kind of runs behind it, runs down, and it just holds it there. So I ended up taping the last screw I didn't use, put back inside here because it's kind of a dead spot. So yeah, so I ended up just running it straight down this little corner here into the machine, and then plugged in to the actual, I don't even know what they're calling this. Terminal. I don't know. Whatever, this spider looking thing. And so that's plugged into there. Okay. And then that goes into your actual air assist. And that is it. Because that's for the Hydra. Okay, so since my last recording, I got a response that there was one thing I did forget. So this blue one right here says OV on it. Ooh, let me move it over here so you can see. Okay, so it hooks from the spider to over here, and on the very left side there's you'll see this yellow and green cord back there. It said you can plug it into any of the 3 ports. I just plugged it in the one in front of that. So that's just a ground. And that was the other thing I didn't do. And then I double checked because it shows these. And on the very last page, it says those cables do not require connections securely. But, so I zip tied those to the OV wire. The other thing is this wire right here, this RD short. Oops, sorry. This RD short. I'm sorry. RD shot. It's upside down. That wire is not mentioned at all in the X series. So it worked already. Like, I've been using it with light burn and have no problems. It's mentioned on the Hydra. So it is not mentioned at all on the X series. So when I stuck it here, it has had no problems because it's the ground. And the air assist actually works. So it kicks on when I say no air, it does low air, and when I say air on, it does high air. So it does work. So I just wanted to pop on and correct that, and basically re-put it on my post. But the only thing different from the original video is this OV wire needs to connect to the ground. Okay, off to the rest of the video. and everything works. The low kicks on for no air. I don't have the machine powered on right now, but when you hit low, it turns on for low air, and then this is the full pressure of what's coming out of my compressor. So I just left it be what it is. I probably will end up turning down the low because the low is still pretty high. Where is it at now? Oh, the low is at a medium, and I want the low at a low, so I'll probably end up, oh, there we go, it plops out. There we go, and then boop, the low is a low. But I can't test it until the machine's plugged in. So let me just do that really quick, and I'll show you. Okay, and then let me hit the power. Okay, now the machine's coming to life. Something I also did is I disconnected the stock fan from here. Actually, I never installed it. I just unconnected it from this square part that hooks the ducting. I took it out before I even put it on. But I have two Omtech Polars and a D1 Pro. I still actively use one of my Polars, which is over there. And the fans choke it, so I just leave that off. And it actually sucks stuff out so much better than my Polar. Okay, so this is now up and going. So that's the beep you have to wait for in order for you to cut. If you don't wait for the beep, then you get nothing when you cut. Okay, so testing the low. Okay, testing the high. Okay. I want my high as my high can go because I have it set at my as up as it can go. Okay, well, let me turn it no more. Okay. I'll probably end up turning it a little bit up more on my compressor. What is it holding it here? Up to 25. Okay. Click it down. Okie dokie. Again, low, high. Something I did notice is when you stop a job, it takes probably 20-30 seconds before the air, like say the last thing you did is cut. It takes about 20-30 seconds for the air to stop flowing, which is fine as long as you know. It's nice that I don't have to ride the pump all the time. This one right here is really nice, this EMP. So you can control the regulator. I've been having really good success with these numbers here. And this is the on and off, which I was having to manually do for, engraves barely and then cut per job, which was quite annoying. Okay, so guess I'll turn it off. This is the on. It's really not that bad. I'll let that go next time I run. And then I have the AC Affinity. I do like this. The only thing I wish was that this thing, I didn't have to click it, like, to have the light go all the way. Like, if there was a way where it just turns on and off. When you click it off, it just goes away. But when you click it on, you have to click it on 10 times. Okay, so I think that's everything for you guys. That's what it looks like with the machine powered on and all the pretty lights. Okay, I'm going to put everything back together, but thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, so I am going to move the head to spot on the wood. Can I say that this has literally changed my life? I had two Omtech Polars, and the laser dot makes such a big difference. Okay, origin, set the focus. Okay, compressor is still on. Off we go. I love this Miiverse controller. I used to have to move that little dial back and forth, but there we go. But just knowing it goes is way better.